Modern science has analyzed all the forces in the universe. The most creative of these is synergy. Synergy is the way in which relationships give birth to powers that only exist through the union of two or more entities. After discussing a couple examples of synergy, I will suggest ways you might bring this power more fully into your life. I'm Brian Thomas Swim, an evolutionary cosmologist working with the Human Energy Project. Our mission is to make the third story of the universe better known. Our series of short films investigates the way humanity is building a nervous system for a superorganism called the Noosphere. As we deepen our understanding of the Noosphere, we begin to arrive at a collective sense of meaning, of purpose, that can help us address our global problems. There are 8 conditions for the rise of the Noosphere, and the one we will be examining in this film is creative convergence. Let's begin with an example that indicates just how deep synergy goes. Consider the elementary particles of the universe: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Whereas protons and electrons are stable, neutrons have a lifetime of just a few minutes. A free floating neutron will exist for 15 minutes and then split apart. But here's the amazing fact. If you combine a neutron with a proton, the neutron will not decay. So long as it remains in relationship with protons, it will survive for billions of years. This synergistic transformation of the neutron into a stable member of an atom is the very basis of all physical structure. Synergy, then, is a power that operates throughout the universe. Consider now an example taken from the realm of the living. One of the most amazing discoveries of 20th century space science concerns the moon. We now have empirical evidence that at the level of minerals, the moon and Earth are almost identical. The difference then between the lifeless moon and the living Earth comes from the mixing that took place on Earth, which led to millions of different chemical reactions among the different elements, some of which eventuated in the living cell. On the moon, there was none of this. There was no mixing because the moon froze and could not explore the synergy of chemical relationships. One last example, even closer to home. Consider the eukaryotic cell. An example is the diatom, which lives in the oceans. Though smaller than the eye can see, the diatoms taken together produce a great deal of the atmosphere's oxygen, which alone is an impressive achievement. But take this next fact in. If you bring together 100 billion eukaryotic cells in a very particular way, you have the human brain. The chemistry and functioning of a diatom is basically the same as the chemistry and function of each brain cell. But synergy transforms a collection of eukaryotic cells into something radically new. A network of eukaryotic cells becomes a power that can create civilizations, symphonic music, complex scientific theories. Nothing needs to be added on. The human mind arises from the synergy of its constituent cells. There is the magic of synergy. It produces its benefits as if pulling them out of thin air. So now, let's ask the most fundamental question. How do we participate in this power of synergy? Our achievements in life are determined by our relationships The challenge is to find others who share our fundamental aspirations. When we enter into relationship with them, all of us become more creative. The magic of synergy is that when we find a special person or a special group of persons, our relationships bring forth the power of creativity, a creativity that exists and deepens as long as we remain inside these synergistic relationships. With the emergence of the Noosphere, a new level of synergistic power is at hand. Relationships, now possible at the planetary level, enable us to work together as a species toward a flourishing Earth community. This series, and human energy as a whole, is one such place where the power of synergy is at work in new technologies of communication, in global trade, in new forms of consciousness. Through our deepening relationships, the Noosphere is rising.
Hello, I'm Matt Harding, sound engineer for the Human Energy Project. And may I say thank you for watching, first and foremost. This episode means a lot to a person who is isolated for much of his job. Post-production audio can be a lonely experience in which you forget that this is bringing people together. This team at Human Energy are incredible at just collaborating, bringing in new ideas, taking comments to heart. So I hope that you contribute to that conversation in our comment section. I hope you share. I hope you like it. I hope you do all the things that helps a community thrive, because we want to keep going and we're excited to do so. And we hope you are too.